Hello everyone, Storm 11 here. Today we'll be taking a look into a potential major pattern change coming up across parts of the plains in the eastern United States. We'll be talking about quite a few things. In here we'll be talking about the cold air. We're talking about two cold fronts, a lot of rain potential across parts of the east, and maybe there is potential for severe weather. There's going to be two cold fronts. The first cold front will be coming in Sunday into Monday. I'll talk about that first. And then the secondary cold front, which comes in later next week or a week from now. That is something concerning to watch there. That could bring us a major pattern change across parts of the north, around the Great Lakes, the northeast, and even parts of the east and central United States. So if anyone wants to join, y'all can join. I'm trying to get this here to come up on my phone. I just don't get it. So welcome to anyone that's going to be joining the live stream here this afternoon. I am currently on fall break. It started yesterday. So yeah. I did upload a video about 13 minutes ago. That will be something very serious that happened, and video output's low. I was kind of expecting that because for some reason the internet's pretty slow today. But anyways, let's hope it won't be that bad today. There we go. It's finally popped up. See if it's laggy. No, it don't. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get started with this live stream. Plug my phone up very quick, and we can go and get started. Charge my phone while I'm doing this. So let's go ahead and get started with the European model here. So this is a current look here. We had a nice cold front coming through parts of the east. Unfortunately, it was a dry cold front. Not much rain to deal with or anything like that. Here comes your next cold front coming in. This will be coming in to my area Sunday into Monday. This cold front should bring some nice weather. It's not going to be for everybody in the east because unfortunately it's supposed to dry out before it reaches like places like Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida there. But it seems like currently the bullseye for rain looks to be parts of the Tennessee Valley. There was two hot spots, and that was like parts of the Northeast and around Tennessee Valley. But now it seems like rainfall totals are going down a little bit across parts of the Northeast, and it seems like Kentucky, Tennessee could see most of the rain, or maybe even northern Mississippi and Alabama there. So here's your cold front here. Let's look into severe weather potential today from the SPC. So here's today. We got a margin of risk for parts of Oklahoma here. No tornado threat this time, but there is a damaging wind threat and also a hail threat there. Nothing too serious here. So let's turn this on. So we got some decent storms going on out there. So here's 8 p.m. on Saturday here. That cold front does start to continue to push to the east, and then the wind starts to shift here. Your high pressure starts to weaken across the east here. So this is Sunday morning. We already got storms firing up across parts of Kentucky and Tennessee here from, there we go, from the southerly winds here, bringing in moisture and stuff, and you also got the cold front. With those two combinations here, you get some rotation in the atmosphere here. There's some wind shear behind this here. The severe weather chances are extremely low at this time. But here's Sunday. You got some scattered to numerous thunderstorms stretching from Ohio back for Kentucky and Tennessee into Missouri, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. this cold front does start to slow down. This is something we like to see happening, is this cold front to slow down. You can tell it really slows down, and a lot of rain potential across Tennessee. That's been the bullseye for a while now from these long-range models here. Then that cold front starts to push eastward. You can see that cold front does indeed start to dry up as it pushes across east. And there is a potential nor'easter here, but I'll say it's going to be a weak one. But it is a little bit early this time of year to have a potential nor'easter here. It seems like that becomes a stationary front here, which is good news for those folks. And here comes this next system here. You can see there's already snow falling across parts of the northwest again here. Not historic, but it is something to watch here. That is a lot of cold air pulling in, guys. That is a lot of cold air. Here's your cold front right here. You will start to see a low pressure system develop out of the Rockies here. For some reason, my stream stopped. Alright, there we go. So let's go on and continue with this. So you got nice southerly winds coming on, going through the plains. That will hit this cold front here. Now this is a 20-degree temperature change here. And usually these type of systems can bring in severe weather, major pattern changes, and sometimes a good amount of snow, like this scenario. Currently there's a very weak a nor'easter up in the northeast here. You can see a low pressure there, bringing in some rain and some wind up there as well. But this system right here, you can see snow can be as far as Nebraska, man, or even Kansas. That cold front really starts to intensify here, bringing in for potential severe weather. You can see severe weather could be possible around Kansas City area there, or even around Tulsa. Here we go into Thursday here. That cold front brings in some severe weather from Missouri back down into Texas here. Very cold air coming in behind this. You can see this cold front does start to push eastward. Seems like it loses its intensity, but there is still a really big temperature change here. And I do believe it's going to be very windy, and yes, it will be very windy here. You see winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour, so there is potential for some wind damage just from the cold front. Not by thunderstorms, but just from the cold front. We'll back this up. You see, that is very strong winds going on across parts of the plains there, maybe up to 50-mile-an-hour wind gust coming from the Euro. See, that cold front does start to continue. You can see about the temperature changes here. See, along the front, it's temperatures in the upper 60s. When you go behind the front, you're talking about low 50s into upper 40s. Very chilly air here. If we move across the northern plains, this is 10 o'clock. You see temperatures below freezing, even in the 20s. Very chilly air. You can see that that's a lot of cold air going on across parts of the north. Look at that, 18 degrees Saturday morning on October 12th. That is something else there. There's your low pressure still continuing across Thunder Bay. If you even go across parts of the east or even go down to Alabama, you're talking about lows in the upper 40s. That is well below average there. You know, it looks like there could be another front developing here. As you can see here, there is some southerly winds going on here. But this may have to be for a different video here. But you can tell the highs don't really do that well, just staying in the 50s there. So that's something else coming from the Euro. Let's look into the GFS model here. And you know what? I forgot something. Rain accumulations for the next, it's going to be next 5 days. So, again, like I said with the bullseye with rain, things like the Euro's got the current bullseye for parts of Tennessee up into Kentucky, but things like some other areas, there's a lot of rain there. As you can see here, basically 2 to 3 inches of rain, pretty widespread here, which is good news for everybody. I mean, everyone needs rain at this point here. If we look into the GFS here, not much rain showing on here, but you can see the bullseye sticks in Tennessee and Kentucky, and there's some other little bullseyes across parts of the Northeast, but we can probably be able to tell it better on the GFS here on tropical tidbits here. So there's your low pressure there. Here's your cold front currently here. And it hits that Gulf of Mexico moisture here. That brings in a lot of rain across there. And we're going to look into rain accumulations here. You can see rainfall totals could be up to 4 to 5 inches of rain across parts of Kentucky and Tennessee there. If you go up in the Northeast like Pennsylvania and New York, could be up to 3 inches of rain. Hey, we need that rain. I mean, we really do it. We really do need it. So let's go ahead and go back to this page here. You can see winds get pretty gusty in the plains here. You can see a low pressure develops there, bringing in snow. That's a lot of cold air coming in behind it. Really starts to deepen here. Very strong winds around the north and west side of the low pressure there, so there could be some potential blizzard conditions here. I mean, look at this, man. That's a really strong low pressure system there, and that will bring severe weather, snow, very windy conditions here, and a big temperature change. You're talking about these type of low pressure systems can bring a temperature change for 20 degrees. And just like, for example, if you live in eastern Kentucky, it may be in the upper 60s, but if you go in western Kentucky, it may be in the 40s. So that's a good example there for a big time temperature change in just miles. You can say that pushes it towards the east here. You're talking about a decent amount of snow across parts of the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, even parts of Michigan there. That trough really starts to stick around there up in the north. Rain accumulations now. Not that much rain to deal with, but let's look at snow. Let's take a look into some snow. Very hefty snowfall totals across parts of Minnesota and the Dakotas there. I kind of doubt for 2 feet to 3 feet. I think it could be a little bit lower than that, but models typically have it very high at this time far out. I mean, we'll get a better idea when it gets about a couple days out. We'll get a better idea of it. Let's go back to the arrow here. I forgot to show you guys the snowfall totals here for the next 10 days. Very similar solution here. See, snowfall totals could be nearing 3 feet. You can see there's pretty hefty swath of 3 to 5 inches of snow across parts of Nebraska. It gets a little higher in South Dakota and Minnesota and Wisconsin there. Decent amount of snow there. Even snow starting to show up in New Mexico, which I kind of doubt that for sure. Snow will fall, but it's probably not going to stick to the ground in New Mexico. Just safe to say that. It really depends on the surface temperatures, especially this early in the time. I was wrong about Montana. Apparently, the snow was falling hard enough to create snowfall totals up to 1 to 2 feet, and I'm also kind of surprised by that. I'm sure everyone is, though. I was not expecting them to get that much snow, but the models did show it, so the models were technically correct about the snowfall totals. Now, I was correct about the mountain snow. I was kind of expecting them to get a lot of snow, about 2 to 3 feet. I'm pretty sure that's how much they got. So, yeah. Especially when we're starting to see cold fronts coming in, I do believe we could see about this much snow coming in here for parts of Minnesota, because there's going to be a lot of cold air sticking around up there. Back into the severe weather side of things, you can see day 2 here. There's a margin of risk, 2 areas of margin of risk. You got one area for across parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mississippi. And you also got another area of margin of risk across parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas there. Day 3, there's just nothing to highlight. Let's read down here. This is my first time viewing this here. let's see. Strong heating along with upper 60s dew points will result in around 2,000 joules per kilogram cape ahead of a cold front. Sure will be weak, but steep boundary evaporates along with amplified PW may support a few strong wind gusts. Okay. So yeah, seems like the severe weather chances are going back up again. They were a little bit higher. If y'all haven't seen it, that the wind shear was high, pretty high. Also, the helicity is very high. That's a really good combination of a tornadic atmosphere. But the K values up in the atmosphere, you're talking about only 100 to 200. That's not enough. But near the surface here, as like they said, 200. But the helicity and the shear has gone down a lot. And that was a few days ago. So things can change when they're very far out to now. We could see this margin risk expanded probably for a larger area because there is some areas across parts of central and eastern Kentucky and even central and eastern Tennessee here could probably see a margin of risk area. The potential for strong thunderstorms is still there though. I cannot rule that out. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Y'all, if y'all got any questions, y'all can put it in the chat here. I don't know what else to talk about. I know y'all get bored with going into severe weather detail. I kind of learned that by myself. By looking at videos and stuff like that, y'all get bored of it. I understand that. There's a lot of stuff that goes into severe weather than anything else. So the main highlights right now is a potential very strong cold front to come in, but things could change. It's still very far out. You're talking about a week out, but both models do agree on this here. You know what I forgot to show you guys? It's actually the NAM model for rainfall totals for Sunday into Monday. See, what I tell you about high-risk models here. You can see the NAM has a bullseye near Nashville, about 6 to 7 inches of rain. I was kind of expecting that. That's why my rainfall totals are higher than the actual high-risk models that go far out, long-range models you can call it. See if there's any other models we could take a look into. I think the H-R model may be tonight. I live in Nicholasville, Kentucky. What do you think the risk will be here? If you're talking about Sunday to Monday, the risk for severe weather is low at this time. You could probably see potential for some strong storms. I mean, the severe weather threat is still there. You also could see some heavy rain. I mean, this is kind of an overnight event. It starts later on Sunday into Monday morning. You could probably see about, I would say, 2 to 3 inches of rain this time. But if you get a train of storms, it can be 3 to 5 inches of rain. But for the second cold front there, it's hard to tell at this time. I mean, at this point, models say severe weather chances are low, but I kind of doubt that. For a strong cold front, that is. Like that. So, yeah. It does feel good around here in central Kentucky. I'm not going to lie to you. We are finally out of the heat, and I'm happy about that. So, yeah. I mean, I guess we can look into models since y'all want to stay on the live stream. Let's look into this here. We'll look into supercell composite first. I know where you live. Both of you and me, Mr. 128 Gaming, we live pretty close. And I'm not even kidding. You're probably talking about 10 miles away. I've been in that city multiple times in my life. So the supercell composite here. You see the GFS does have just a general thunderstorm risk here for supercells. Very low. Just not much to worry about there. I keep on forgetting we can look into the NAM model. Typically the NAM model will be a little bit higher. So let's look into that. Is the live stream lagging? I feel like it is because the internet's been slow for the past couple days. Let's see here. Looks like it does have the same idea GFS does. What about a higher risk in this area here? We're going to look into that. Weak tornado. Must be very low shear though. I think it's just could be the helicity there. We can back this up a little bit here. Let's get a little bit closer to my area. There's a 1 there. I'll say a weak tornado is not going to happen. Nothing. Oh wow, the LFC is just way up there. Alright. See here. Let's look at the Cape here. The Cape is just something to keep an eye on. You see these two here start to merge each other. This is a cold front. This is not the warm front. This is coming from the southerly winds here. It's kind of interesting to see there. The K values should be a little bit higher. You know what? Yes, they are. 1700, so the K values are actually starting to go up again. That's a pretty good forecast sounding there. I mean, I can rule out damage of winds. I think we can see some pea-sized hail. That's possible. The tornado front, I think it could be, it's probably not going to be exactly going to be 0 because there is helicity and shear nearby. It depends if they can intersect there. If we do have very high values combined together, that's a very tornadic atmosphere. And that's what we do not want to see. It's also October, so this is the secondary season of severe weather across the Ohio Valley. So we have to keep an eye on this. Even though K values this low here, not that favorable, they are in reality for fall. So at this point, you just need over 1,000 or even 500. You get yourself a chance there. Let's move on to Ventus Sky here. This one when we can look into the GFS here. My dad's currently cleaning the side of the house. It's probably catching up on the mic. Yeah, y'all can hear it in the background a little bit. It's not too shabby. It does need to be clean, I'm not going to lie to you. So let's go ahead and go into the Cape here. So let's move on. There we go. So let's go to Sunday. This is actually HRRR model. Interesting. This is something we can look into. You see some spots 1,500. So it's kind of scattered here a little bit. Let's look at 2 other ingredients here. You can see the wind shear is so far behind. What it used to be, they used to be combined together. We do have enough lift. That's what the SPC said. They said there's enough lift for thunderstorms to develop, especially across parts of these areas here. But looking to this, I don't doubt it. I mean, there is enough lift there. And let's go out to a bigger view here. Let's move out this way. We're going to move to Thursday. Here's your cold front right here. This is probably scattered thunderstorm activity out here. This is your squall line that should be there. So let's look into Cape here. See what the Cape numbers are. Decent values here. It's not too shabby. Cape at shear. There is some around. That wind shear should be high. Yes, it is. It's especially down by Oklahoma and Texas. That's a pretty favorable environment down there so far. Pretty favorable environment. There's a sign in. Not much to worry about there. There should be lift. Yes, there is. But that's a big difference there. Yes, I am actually lagging on here. Actually lagging. Gosh, Lee, that's a lot of helicity. Very good combination there. So let's move into Friday. See, this is what I'm talking about here. Here's your... Looks like a cold front right here, so it's moving very quickly. See, this is what I'm talking about here. See, it's 0 cross here. It's a little bit favorable down the south. At this point, I think the main threat is just going to be the wind gust. As you can tell here, by the wind gust here, it could be pretty gusty. It just seems like it just gets weaker as it gets closer to parts of the east. Well, as it gets into the east. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna end it here. So hopefully you enjoyed this weather discussion number 3 in a live stream. If y'all did like this video, hit the like button. If you really do like my channel, you can hit the subscribe button. You can hit that bell notification so you never miss an upload. If y'all guys got any questions about this, if you're looking into this as a video, you can put it in the comment section down below. I'll answer you guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.